The Young and the Restless spoilers, October 22, November 1, 2024. The next 2 weeks on The Young and the Restless will bring shocking discoveries, dangerous confrontations, and unexpected alliances. Here's what fans can expect during this explosive period. Week of October 22, October 25, 2024. Chance makes a disturbing discovery. Chance uncovers a shocking piece of evidence connecting Daniel to Sharon's disappearance. His investigation intensifies, threatening to unravel the truth and put Daniel in a dangerous position. Phylis takes drastic measures. Phylis confronts Daisy and warns her to stay silent about her connection to Lucy. Will Phylis's desperate actions backfire, or can she protect her family's fragile peace? Victor and Kyle face off. After firing Kyle, Victor continues his mission to take control of Jebot, placing Diane in a powerful position. As tension builds, Jack and Kyle must decide if they will unite or allow Victor to tear them apart. Week of October 28, November 1, 2024. Jack and Diane's deception unfolds. Jack and Diane's supposed marital troubles may have been a setup to mislead Victor, but someone close discovers the truth. Will Victor fall for their ruse, or has Jack underestimated his opponent? Sally and Adam's unexpected reunion. Sparks fly when Sally crosses paths with Adam, reigniting old feelings. Will their unresolved past bring them closer, or will Sally stay loyal to Nick despite the temptation? Faith caught in the middle. Faith finds herself torn between loyalty to her family and the disturbing truth she uncovered about Sharon. Can she protect her mother while also doing what's right? Nikki issues a warning. Nikki senses Victor's power plays are spiraling out of control. She confronts him, demanding he pull back before their family crumbles under the weight of his schemes. Will Victor listen, or will his stubbornness cost him everything? Major cliffhanger to watch out for. Daniel's fate hangs in the balance. As evidence piles up, Daniel faces a life-altering choice. Will someone intervene to clear his name, or is he destined to pay the price for a crime he didn't commit? Shocking betrayal. Just when everyone thinks things are under control, a betrayal rocks Genoa City, leaving everyone wondering who they can trust. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Jolie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. By and r/Nate Hastings awaits a surprise. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next 2 weeks. October 21, November 1, 2024, reveal that Billy and Sally will finally give into the temptation. Elsewhere, Chelsea will give Adam a reality check. Meanwhile, Victor and Nikki will pick sides, and Daniel's trouble will expand beyond measure. The spoilers also suggest that a shock is impending for Diane. The week is packed with some twisting storylines, so read till the end to catch up with the developments. Spoilers for the week of October 21 to 25, 2024. Billy and Sally give into temptation. Chelsea dishes out tough love. The week of October 21 to 25, 2024 will feature a passionate moment between Billy and Sally. The chemistry between Billy and Sally is indeed tempting, and after having a few more shots of whiskey, they will give in to their desires. The duo will share a steamy kiss, but will they stop there, or will it lead to the bedroom romance between them? We will have to wait to know. The magnetic chemistry between the Billy and Sally will not go unnoticed. Sooner we might get to witness a fume of jealousy from Adam Newman. Meanwhile, Chelsea Lawson will already be dishing him some tough love for the terrible choices they have made. Chelsea will tell Adam to live with the consequences of his past deeds as she has to live with hers. It seems like Chelsea is reluctant towards giving another chance to Adam after the major shake-off between the couples. Nikki and Victor take sides. Nate steps up. However, Victor is quite supportive of both Adam and Chelsea. He will like the idea of the reunion of Adam's family with Chelsea and their child Connor Newman, so he will be quite supportive of this romance. On another front, Nikki Newman will try to reconcile with Lily Winters after the corporate disaster, but Lily will be in no mood to talk peace with anyone. She will rather be focused on getting her position back at Abbott Chancellor, though she might make a mistake when it comes to predicting Jill Abbott's next moves. Jill will definitely want Lily to join back the company, but transferring the authority to her will be the last thing on Jill's mind. Meanwhile, Nate Hastings will step up for Audra Charles. Fans will get to see Nate bring a huge surprise for Audra in terms of a career opportunity, which could help her to crack a good deal on that front. Questions start piling up. Daniel is in big trouble. The UI and R spoilers suggest that Nick Newman will find himself in a tough spot. In fact, he will be in such a position that he might have to face Phylis' wrath. After Daniel's arrest on suspicion of Heather's murder, Phylis has started getting really anxious. She blames Sharon for everything that has happened, including framing Daniel. But when she shares her thoughts with Nick, he will disagree. He might side with Sharon in this case, and Phylis won't like it. Related spoilers suggest that Phylis might feel obligated to find the evidence to clear Daniel's name. For this, she might have to team up with Christine, who is also defending Daniel. Would these two vixens be able to save Daniel? Only time will tell. Moreover, Daniel will get a moment with Danny Romalotti as they chat on a video call. Danny will console his son as the situation continues to degrade. It looks like Daniel will confide about his fears to his father. Owing to the pressure that Daniel is facing, it is likely that he will plead Sharon to confess the truth. Daniel will stick to his statement that he was not the one fighting Heather the night when she went missing. Rather, he will want Sharon to confess the truth, but if Daniel pesters Sharon too aggressively, it wouldn't end in his favor. Diane passes on a grim news. Over at the Abbott mansion, Diane will share some grim news with Tracy Abbott. She tells her that Jack has asked her to move out of the mansion. Later on, Jack will update Tracy on something serious. Could it be a revelation about his fight with Diane? There are possibilities that Diane and Jack could be faking the troubles in their relationship to trick Victor and Kyle. Their divorce could just be a deception, and we can expect Claire Newman to be a part in the plan, as she has been eager to help Jack amidst the chaos. Well, if the turbulence in their marriage is just for show, soon we will see Diane in a good position to benefit from the drama. Victor will try to pull Diane to his side, hoping to avenge Jack, but Diane might manage to dig out some information from him to gain leverage. Moreover, Jack and Billy will settle their differences in the upcoming episodes. Lately, two of them have been facing trouble in their bonds, but ultimately, they will have to reunite to fight off their common enemy, Victor Newman. Spoilers for the week of October 28, November 1, 2024. Nate faces another shocker. During the week of October 28, November 1, 2024, Nate Hastings will face shocking revelations as he meets Amy Lewis again. Amy will be visiting Genoa City in the episode that airs on October 29, 2024. During that visit, she will meet Nate, and that is when Nate will face a big shocker. There are speculations that Nate has a half-brother, about whom Amy will tell him this week. Meanwhile, Phylis's desperation to prove Daniel's innocence could aggravate a problem for her. Sharon is still hallucinating, and when she finds Phylis too ardent to uncover the truth, Sharon will want to take control. What if Cameron Kristen instigates Sharon to commit another crime in her imagination? Will it push Sharon to take Phylis down? The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that fans will have a thrilling week with these major twists and turns coming up. So stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for more such latest updates on your favorite soaps and celebs. Share your thoughts on the part which is keeping you more excited for the week. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for Tuesday, October 22, reveals that Nate Hastings will make a bold move for Audra Charles' sake. There'll be some situation where Nate rides to the rescue and tries to help Audra overcome all her latest stumbling blocks. Nate might pitch the idea of bringing Audra on board at Winters, but would Devin Hamilton Winters really go for that? Audra has a history of being a traitor, so it'd probably be tough to get Devin's support. However, there might be some other career opportunity that comes along, something that could propel Audra forward a brighter future. Nate clearly thinks Audra would be better off putting all the glissade drama behind her, so maybe he'll come up with a way to help her do that. In the meantime, Devin will have a conversation with Victor Newman and get some advice he didn't ask for. There may be some tension due to Victor's treatment of Lily Winters lately, but Victor might urge Devin to stay in his lane and accept that everything will work out. It'll be better for everyone if Victor and Devin continue living in harmony since Abby Newman Abbott loves them both. They at least need to get through the wedding that's coming up, so Devin and Victor may reach an understanding. As for Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra, will they part ways for the night after their smooch or escalate things to a drunken hookup? Either way, Sally and Billy are definitely growing closer, and Adam Newman may discover that news soon enough. Although part of Adam wants to reunite with Chelsea Lawson, another part of him is struggling to let Sally go. It's bound to sting if Adam finds out Sally is moving on with Billy of all people. Nevertheless, Chelsea will give Adam some tough love on Tuesday's I and R episode. Perhaps Chelsea will argue that mistakes come with consequences and encourage Adam to see that sometimes you just can't change the past. Adam will just have to feel lonely for a while since Sally's heading in Billy's direction, while Chelsea continues to drag her feet on getting back together. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Chelsea might surrender on an Adam reunion down the road, so check back for more romantic predictions and updates on their family's future. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Daniel Romalotti Jr. will give a little more thought to Phylis Summers' theory. When Phylis first suggested Sharon Newman might be behind Heather Stevens' demise and the frame-up, Daniel thought it seemed too far-fetched and extreme. However, Phylis made a good case for why it could be true and convinced Daniel she should do some investigating. The more Daniel thinks about Phylis' top suspect, the more he may realize she could be right about Sharon's guilt. Daniel at least feels confident Sharon was lying about Heather's claims that night. Since Daniel and Heather weren't fighting at all, he finds it strange that she'd tell Sharon of all people that they had a big blow-up. Chance Chancellor suggested that Heather might have been covering up the real reason she was upset, but Daniel shut down the idea that she had a secret lover or anything like that. Daniel may come to believe Sharon is trying to make him look bad, and decide she indeed makes the most sense as the person to blame for all this. Advertisement. As the walls close in on Daniel in the coming episodes, he'll decide to make a bold move. During the week of October 21 to 25, Daniel will confront Sharon and push her to make a confession. I and our fans can expect Daniel to put some pressure on Sharon and demand that she tell the whole Heather truth. Daniel may call Sharon out for her shady visit to the apartment and wonder if she came back to plant incriminating items. Since there was an unsent text on Heather's phone to Paul Williams, Daniel may ask if Sharon wrote that to back up the story she told the cops. Sharon acted like she witnessed tension between Daniel and Heather before Heather supposedly confided about their terrible argument. Daniel may suspect Sharon composed that text to make him look dangerous and make Heather seem afraid of him. We'll see how specific Daniel gets with his accusations, but he'll definitely push Sharon to admit he's not the scary creep she's making him out to be. Daniel may insist it's time for Sharon to admit her own guilt to the cops, but she obviously won't be willing to do that. Based on our predictions, Sharon will scramble to keep her cover-up intact, so stick with us for updates on all the wild news to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon will do whatever she can to preserve her freedom and keep the finger pointed at Daniel. Queuing up Amazon Prime recently to watch an episode of The Young and the Restless, it hit me like the proverbial ton of bricks. When I went to the soap's homepage, there were Victor, Nikki, and Jack, inarguably the show's three most recognizable characters. But the daytime drama is called The Young and the Restless, and while the dynamic trio may be restless, well, let's just say that it's been a minute since they were able to chalk up their misadventures to inexperience and youthful folly. And that's when it occurred to me that Young and Restless doesn't actually have any characters under 30 years old. None that are on contract anyway. Now, I'm not at all one of those people who thinks that to bring in a young audience, you need young characters. I've laughed right along with you at the execs who have clung to that notion, even as it's been proven wrong over and over again. But some diversification of the canvas wouldn't kill the show. In fact, it would help. How? So glad you asked. For starters, the addition of some teens or 20-somethings would force Young and Restless to hatch the occasional plot that doesn't revolve around business. It might even corner the romance-averse show into playing a love story. Remember when Young and Restless told those? Back in the day, Nick and Sharon made us swoon. Lily and Daniel made our hearts skip a beat. We had our breath waiting for JT and Colleen's first kiss. Those were good times. The downside of bringing in the next generation, of course, is that it means that some of the last generation will have to go to make room for them. And I know that nobody likes change. Suggest writing off a character, any character, and suddenly, that character becomes your all-time favorite. But I love Society Customer No. 7. It's gotta happen, folks. Otherwise, we are stuck with a canvas full of untouchable couples and characters condemned to move from one corporation to the next, and from one CEO position to the next while our eyes glaze over. And you know as well as I do that this is what the late, great Bill Bell would have done. You'll recall that he wasn't afraid to exact major change. If he had been, the Brooks and Foster families would still be front and center, not the Newmans and Abbotts. What do you think? Does Young and Restless need an infusion of young? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that CLA is at a crucial crossroads in Genoa City's web of power struggles and relationships. She finds herself torn between her loyalty to Jack Abbott and her romantic bond with Kyle Abbott. As the tension between CLA and Kyle escalates, she believes that aligning with Jack to counter Victor Newman is her way of saving Kyle from a destructive path. However, her actions may be driving her closer to a collision with Kyle's ambitions, potentially jeopardizing everything they've built together. Kyle Abbott is not someone who easily submits to outside influence, especially when it involves his personal and professional goals. His recent choices, heavily shaped by his alliance with Victor Newman, reflect his own vision for the future. To Kyle, working with Victor isn't the descent into chaos that CLA imagines. It's a strategic move to establish himself as a powerful figure in Genoa City, distinct from his father Jack and the Jabot legacy. In his eyes, any interference with this plan is a form of betrayal. CLA, on the other hand, sees things differently. She believes Kyle has been manipulated by Victor, and his actions are creating a rift between him and his family. By siding with Jack and Diane, CLA thinks she can protect Kyle from a dangerous alliance that could ultimately ruin him. CLA, always guided by her moral compass, stands firm in her belief that what she's doing is right. However, this conviction may come at a steep cost: her relationship with Kyle. Once CLA chooses to support Jack, she unwittingly positions herself as an adversary to Kyle. He sees her involvement in Jack's plans as a direct threat to his autonomy and ambitions. To Kyle, CLA's decision to side with Jack feels like a personal betrayal. While she may view her actions as protecting him, Kyle interprets it as an attack on his dreams and values. He has already set his course, and anyone who tries to change that, including CLA, is stepping into dangerous territory. As Kyle confronts CLA, the dynamic of their relationship shifts. What was once a bond built on mutual respect and affection now teeters on the brink of collapse. Kyle's warning to CLA is clear: stop meddling in his business, and more importantly, stop conspiring with Jack and Diane. His loyalty to Victor and his personal ambitions are now the driving forces behind every decision he makes, and CLA's continued involvement with Jack threatens to destroy everything. Kyle, always the calculated strategist, knows exactly what's at stake. Raised amid corporate battles and family feuds, he understands how fragile alliances can be. He is well aware that CLA's partnership with Jack could lead to irreversible damage, not only to his position, but also to their relationship. His ultimatum is simple: CLA must step back or risk becoming his enemy. For CLA, the situation is even more complex. She's not just helping Jack out of loyalty or a desire to see Victor fall. She genuinely believes Kyle is being manipulated. By intervening, she hopes to prevent him from making a catastrophic mistake. But now, she faces difficult questions. If her actions lead to the end of her relationship with Kyle, what is she truly fighting for? Is she willing to risk everything for a man who may not want to be saved? And if she makes an enemy of Victor, what will happen to her future in Genoa City? CLA's internal struggle deepens as she realizes that her choices could have far-reaching consequences, not only for her relationship with Kyle, but also for her own standing in the city. Victor Newman is not a man to be underestimated, and going against him could spell disaster for CLA. Yet, the thought of doing nothing, of watching Kyle continue down a path she believes is destructive, feels equally unbearable. Ultimately, CLA must face a harsh reality. If she continues to support Jack, she may lose Kyle. And the truth is, Kyle may already be lost to her. His loyalty to Victor and his drive for power have blinded him to the consequences of his actions, particularly when it comes to those closest to him. The Kyle that CLA fell in love with may no longer exist, replaced by a man consumed by ambition, willing to sacrifice everything, even his relationship, for the sake of his career. Moore reflects on good old Oi and our days and remembers someone special. Do you remember Shemar Moore's portrayal of Malcolm Winters on The Young and the Restless? The actor who left Genoa City in 2005 took a nostalgic dive back to where it all began. He reminisced about his early days on CBS soap and the incredible person who lit up his path to stardom. Read further to get the full scoop. Shemar remembers words of wisdom. The Young and the Restless alum made an appearance on The Talk, where he looked back at his soap life. Shemar began, April 6, 1994, I got hired as Malcolm Winters on the CBS soap. Moreover, he revealed how thrilled he was just imagining himself on TV. However, the initial joy fizzled out, and reality hit hard and fast. I got freaked out, like, oh my god, I'm not gonna be good enough, Moore thought. As funny as it sounds, he thought he would be made to pack his bag and bolt out in no time. The imposter syndrome was too real in Shemar's case. That's when the legendary Christoph Street John, who played his on-screen brother Neil Winters, swooped in like a superhero. Additionally, the actor gave Shemar a pep talk that stayed with him forever. He was scared out of his mind, but Christoph saw that and embraced him right away while uttering magical words. You're scared, you're nervous, you're green. But you've got heart and you've got raw talent, John said to Moore. Subsequently, his words struck a chord, giving Shemar the confidence to own his role and thrive in the soap realm. But who knew those humble beginnings on My and R were just the start? The My and R star didn't just survive, but soared like a kite. Moore even earned a daytime Emmy and then got primetime success with Criminal Minds. Currently, he's leading the charge in SWAT, which is heading into its final season. Quite a glow-up, right? Sadly, Christoph Street John passed away in 2019 at the age of 52. but he left behind an unforgettable legacy. He was a child actor who had appeared on shows like Happy Days and The Cosby Show. Furthermore, Christoph left a lasting impression with his role in Generations before becoming a Y&R fan favorite in 1991. Even though Christoph is no longer around, his wisdom bombs continue to fuel Shimmer's journey to greatness. Don't miss out on more updates on the young and the restless celebs at Soap Opera Daily. What do you think about this strong bond between Shimmer and Christoph? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal Victor Newman pulling off yet another strategic move, this time targeting Diane Jenkins. Victor convinced Diane to meet with him privately, a meeting that would alter the business landscape of Genoa City. Diane emerged from the conversation as the new CEO of Glade, replacing her own son, Kyle Abbott. Diane had long felt sidelined by Jack and Kyle, resenting how they both treated her since her return to Genoa City. Jack kept his distance, doubting her motives, while Kyle failed to live up to her expectations in business. Now, with Victor's offer, Diane saw a perfect opportunity to get revenge on both Jack and Kyle. Victor, always a master at reading people, recognized Diane's desire for payback. He knew how to use her anger to his advantage. Diane, with her insider knowledge of Jack and Jebot, became a valuable asset in Victor's grand scheme. Kyle, once a promising protege, was now a mere pawn whose usefulness had come to an end. Kyle had believed he'd earned his spot at Glade through hard work, but Victor had been playing him all along. The seasoned business minds in Genoa City saw Kyle as a temporary player in Victor's larger plan, and his downfall was inevitable. With Diane now in charge, Kyle's brief tenure at Glade had served its purpose, and he was left blindsided by both his mother and Victor. Diane's appointment sent shockwaves through the business world. She wasn't just taking a corporate position, she was seizing the chance to dismantle the Abbott family legacy. For Diane, this role wasn't just business, it was personal. She aimed to use her authority to go after both Jack and Kyle, taking advantage of her deep knowledge of their weaknesses. Meanwhile, Victor sat back, watching as the chaos unfolded. His plan was masterfully executed, pitting the Abbotts against each other without ever getting his hands dirty. Jack and Kyle were now adversaries of Diane, and the fallout would weaken them in ways they hadn't anticipated. Jack had warned Kyle about working with Victor, but Kyle, driven by ambition, had ignored his father's advice. Now, Kyle was grappling with betrayal from both Victor and his own mother. Diane, with Victor's backing, wasted no time asserting her control at Glade, making moves that directly impacted both Jack and Kyle's business ventures. For Jack, facing Diane in the boardroom was a nightmare. Not only did she know the inner workings of Jebot, but she was also armed with Victor's guidance, making her a more formidable opponent. The confrontation between Jack and Kyle was inevitable, and the personal and professional fallout promises to be explosive as Diane continues her quest for revenge. In a heart-stopping twist on The Young and the Restless, Sharon Newman finds herself embroiled in a life-altering tragedy after an unexpected confrontation with Phylis Summers. The shocking discovery. Sharon's peaceful evening takes a dark turn when she returns home to discover Phylis has broken into her house. Fueled by panic and adrenaline, Sharon confronts Phylis, who is lurking in the shadows, seemingly intent on causing trouble. The two women engage in a heated argument, escalating quickly as Sharon's emotions boil over. In a desperate moment, Sharon reacts instinctively, leading to an accidental blow that sends Phylis crashing to the ground. The heartbreaking aftermath. As the reality of what just transpired sets in, Sharon is horrified to find Phylis unresponsive. In a frantic attempt to revive her, she realizes the gravity of the situation. Phylis is dead. The Newman family and the Abbotts are thrown into chaos as they grapple with the shocking news. Sharon's world crumbles as she realizes she has unintentionally taken the life of her longtime rival. questions arise. With the police arriving at the scene, questions swirl about the events leading up to the tragic accident. Will Sharon face charges for an act that was never intended? How will this affect her relationships with her family and friends? Nick Newman, Sharon's ex-husband, finds himself torn between supporting the mother of his children and grappling with the loss of Phylis, who had been a significant part of their lives. Emotional turmoil ahead. As the truth unfolds, the emotional fallout from this incident will be felt throughout Genoa City. Friends and family will grapple with betrayal, loss, and guilt as they navigate the complexities of grief and justice. What will this mean for Sharon's future? Will she be able to cope with the consequences of that fateful night, or will the weight of her actions haunt her forever? This shocking turn of events promises to deliver gripping drama and intense character exploration, making it one of the most talked about moments in my and our history. Viewers will be glued to their screens as they witness the aftermath of this accidental tragedy unfold. Reached her breaking point with Lily Winters, leading to a shocking confrontation that changes everything for both women. As the matriarch of the Abbott family and CEO of Chancellor Winters, Jill has always prioritized loyalty and integrity, but her trust in Lily has been shattered by recent betrayals. Jill once saw Lily as a trusted ally and integral part of her family's business. However, after numerous warnings from her son Billy about Lily's manipulative nature, Jill can no longer ignore the truth. Once considered a respected leader, Lily's recent actions have revealed her to be power-hungry and self-serving, erasing any trace of loyalty she once had. This betrayal not only affects the family dynamic, but threatens the very foundation of the business they built together. The tension between Jill and Lily escalates as Jill finally confronts Lily about her deceitful behavior. The heated argument between them is inevitable, with Jill's disappointment turning into resolute anger. Despite Lily's attempts to justify her actions and plead her case, Jill remains steadfast, determined to hold her accountable for her betrayal. "You're done, Lily," Jill declares, her voice cold and unwavering. "I don't want to see you near my family or my business ever again." This moment marks the end of Lily's time at Chancellor Winters, a company she had once led with ambition, but has now been reduced to ruins due to her disloyalty. In the wake of this confrontation, Lily finds herself isolated and alone. The carefully constructed alliances and friendships she cultivated have crumbled, leaving her reputation in tatters. Once a respected businesswoman, she now grapples with the stark reality of her actions and the consequences they bring. The walls of deceit she built to protect herself have come crashing down, and with them, her aspirations for power and success. On the other hand, Jill experiences a sense of liberation in her decision. She reflects on her son's loyalty and instincts, realizing that he was right all along about Lily. Billy, despite his own struggles, has proven himself to be a true advocate for the family and Chancellor Winters, while Lily's self-interest has led to her undoing. Jill's resolve strengthens as she stands by her son, prepared to rebuild what Lily tried to destroy. However, this battle between Jill and Lily is far from over. Jill is not merely satisfied with severing ties. She is committed to teaching Lily a lesson. Her determination to ensure Lily faces the consequences of her betrayal hints at a deeper conflict brewing beneath the surface. As whispers circulate throughout Genoa City about this dramatic fallout, the community watches closely. Everyone knows that when Jill Abbott sets her mind to something, she will stop at nothing to achieve her goals. The future remains uncertain for Lily. Will she fight back against Jill's decision, or will she finally accept the harsh reality of her situation? As the consequences of her ambition unfold, it becomes clear that her rise to power has turned into a cautionary tale. The betrayal of those who once supported her has left her with nothing but regret and isolation. This story arc is poised to capture the attention of longtime fans and new viewers alike. showcasing the timeless themes of loyalty, betrayal, and the harsh realities of the corporate world. With Jill and Billy standing united, the stage is set for a fierce battle of wills. As the fallout continues, fans are left wondering how the saga will evolve and what it means for the future of Chancellor Winters. The tension is palpable, and the stakes are higher than ever in Genoa City. Will justice be served, or will Lily find a way to claw her way back into the good graces of the Abbott family? Tune in to find out. The Young and the Restless spoilers show Billy Abbott kisses Sally Spectra while Sharon Newman faces a grilling. Will she be able to keep her secrets under wraps, or will the truth finally come to light? More of I&R Weekly spoilers see Devin Hamilton and Abby Newman making wedding plans. Devin lets Abby choose the cake, and Nate Hastings displays his distrust of Victor Newman. Meanwhile, Victor pushes Adam Newman to go after Jack Abbott in retaliation for Nikki Newman's near-death experience. His dad also wonders if he'll reconcile with Chelsea Lawson. Young and the Restless spoilers, Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra's steamy kiss. Young and the Restless spoilers for this week confirm Lily Winters stands her ground against Billy and Victor. Despite Nikki and Devin trying to persuade her, Lily fights for Chancellor Industries. And in a surprising twist, Billy and Sally find solace in each other's company. They do shots, talk about her carny days, and share a steamy kiss, per Y&R spoilers. Then, Young and the Restless spoilers take a turn as Daniel Romalotti is the prime suspect. Evidence in Heather Stevens' murder case points to Daniel. So Daniel's father, Danny Romalotti, reaches out on a Skype call. And Danny sends Christine Williams to Genoa City to represent Daniel. I&R Weekly spoilers, Sharon Newman grilled as Daniel faces murder charges for her crime. I&R Weekly spoilers promise Sharon faces increasing pressure because she's told lies on Daniel, and she planted evidence to frame him for her assault and murder of Heather. Later next week on Young and the Restless, Jack delivers shocking news. Tracy Abbott reels to hear he kicked out his wife. She mediates Jack and Diane Jenkins to stop their split. In a bold move, Victor tries to recruit Diane to help destroy Jack's life. Meanwhile, other Young and the Restless Weekly spoilers show Billy and Jack clear the air, and Phylis Summers tries to protect Daniel from Sharon's efforts to frame him. The Young and the Restless is about to take viewers on a wild ride as Phylis. Christine and Paul join forces to confront Sharon and save Daniel from a wrongful fate. After spending time in Paris, Christine and Danny had been enjoying a break from the chaos of Genoa City, rebuilding their relationship and finding solace in the City of Light. But with Daniel facing the threat of imprisonment, their peaceful moments are cut short. The couple knows they have no choice but to return to the turmoil that awaits them back home. Phylis has been relentless in keeping Christine updated on the dire situation in Genoa City. According to her, Sharon Newman has spun out of control, becoming a dangerous force who believes she's untouchable. Phylis paints Sharon as the mastermind behind a deadly game, framing Daniel for a murder he didn't commit. Heather's death looms over Daniel like a dark cloud, and Sharon, in her delusional arrogance, is pulling the strings to ensure that Daniel takes the fall for her crime. Christine listens intently as Phylis lays out the details. Sharon, once a familiar face in Genoa City, has transformed into a dangerous, unpredictable figure. Phylis is adamant that Sharon is the true culprit behind Heather's death, while Daniel remains a pawn in her twisted game. The urgency of the situation becomes increasingly clear as every day that passes puts Daniel in more peril. Phylis fears that if they don't act quickly, Daniel could be lost to the prison system for a crime he never committed. At the center of this chaos is Sharon's influence over Genoa City's law enforcement, particularly Chance Chancellor. Once a respected cop, Chance has seemingly fallen from grace, bending the rules to protect Sharon. Phylis describes Chance as having become corrupt, a man who no longer upholds the law, but instead enables Sharon's reckless behavior. His once unshakable moral compass has shifted, and now he shields Sharon from facing the consequences of her actions. Christine, being the sharp and experienced lawyer she is, doesn't take Phylis's claims lightly. While she listens carefully to Phylis's account, she knows better than to jump to conclusions without investigating the facts herself. Christine is determined to find the cracks in Sharon's scheme and piece together a strategy to bring her down. If anyone can expose the truth and free Daniel, it's Christine. With her years of legal expertise, she knows how to navigate even the most complex cases, and Sharon's manipulation of the system won't go unchallenged. However, Christine realizes that she can't do this alone. She needs someone who can help tip the scales in their favor, someone who can bring a level of authority and fear that will shake Sharon and her allies. Enter Paul Williams, a legendary detective whose sharp instincts and unwavering moral compass have made him a force to be reckoned with in Genoa City. Paul's reputation alone could send shockwaves through the criminal underworld, and Christine knows that if she can convince him to return, they'll have a powerful ally in their fight against Sharon. Paul has been away from the force for some time, but his history with both Christine and Phylis makes him a trustworthy ally. Despite their past ups and downs, they know they can rely on him when it counts. Once Paul learns about the dire situation Daniel is in, he won't hesitate to step back into action. Christine is already formulating a plan to bring Paul on board, knowing that his skills will be crucial in taking Sharon and Chance down. Meanwhile, back in Genoa City, Sharon walks with an air of invincibility. She believes she's untouchable, bolstered by her relationship with Chance, who acts as her protector. Together, they formed a dangerous duo, and Sharon's confidence grows by the day. Chance's loyalty to Sharon has clouded his judgment, and he's willing to betray his badge to keep her safe. But Christine sees through their facade. She knows that Chance's loyalty to Sharon is his biggest weakness, and she's prepared to exploit that to bring them both down. As Phylis, Christine, and Paul unite, their alliance sets the stage for a showdown that will shake Genoa City to its core. Sharon's reign of terror may seem unstoppable, but with Christine's legal mind, Paul's investigative prowess, and Phylis's determination to protect her son, this dangerous duo may finally face justice. In true The Young and the Restless fashion, Victor Newman has once again outmaneuvered his rivals with a masterful move that has left Genoa City buzzing. The corporate titan's latest power play, convincing Diane Jenkins to take over as CEO of Glade, a move that not only blindsided her son Kyle Abbott, but also sent shockwaves through Djibouti. What seemed like a simple business shift has evolved into a deeply personal battle, one that pits family members against each other in a high-stakes game of corporate warfare. Diane Jenkins, from outcast to CEO. Diane Jenkins' rise to power has been nothing short of dramatic. Long regarded as a thorn in the side of Djibouti and a complicated figure within the Abbott family, Diane has often felt sidelined and undervalued by both Jack and Kyle. Her son, despite his loyalty, had always fallen short in Diane's eyes, failing to assert his dominance in the ruthless world of business. Jack, on the other hand, never fully trusted Diane after her return to Genoa City, constantly keeping her at arm's length. But with Victor's proposal, Diane saw a golden opportunity, not just to prove herself, but to exact her long-awaited revenge on the father and son who she felt had wronged her. This was more than a career move, it was personal. Victor Newman, the puppet master. Victor Newman's brilliance lies in his ability to read people and manipulate their emotions to his advantage. He sensed Diane's resentment toward Jack and Kyle, and he knew exactly how to leverage it. To Victor, Diane was a far more valuable asset than Kyle had ever been. Not only did she have insider knowledge of Djibouti's strategies, but she also had a deep understanding of the vulnerabilities that could bring the company to its knees. Kyle Abbott, once a rising star under Victor's mentorship, never saw the betrayal coming. Victor had toyed with Kyle from the start, granting him the illusion of power only to rip it away at the most opportune moment. Kyle, naive in his ambition, believed he had earned his place at the top, but to Victor, Kyle was just another pawn in a much larger game. Diane's revenge, targeting the Abbott legacy. With Diane now installed as the CEO of Glade, the dynamic between the Abbotts has been completely upended. Diane is not content with merely running a company. Her agenda is to dismantle the Abbott legacy piece by piece. Armed with the knowledge of Jabot's inner workings and backed by Victor's strategic brilliance, Diane is determined to strike where it hurts the most. For Jack Abbott, this situation is a nightmare. He has spent years building Jabot's reputation and stabilizing the family business, but now he finds himself in direct competition with his ex-wife. Diane knows the company better than most, and her new position, guided by Victor, makes her an incredibly dangerous adversary. Jack had always known that Victor was a formidable opponent, but with Diane as his weapon of choice, the stakes have never been higher. Kyle, on the other hand, is left reeling from the double betrayal. Not only has Victor turned his back on him, but his own mother has usurped his position. The young Abbott's brief tenure as CEO of Glade had been the highlight of his career, but now he must grapple with the reality that his mother, the woman who raised him, has taken his place. The fallout from this power shift will test Kyle's loyalty to his family and push him to confront his own ambitions. A family at war. The tension between Jack and Kyle has been building for months, but with Diane now in the mix, their personal and professional worlds have collided in ways neither anticipated. Jack had tried to warn Kyle about the dangers of getting too close to Victor, but Kyle, blinded by his ambition, ignored his father's advice. Now, as the family faces off against Diane, the consequences of their fractured relationships are becoming all too clear. Victor, ever the mastermind, sits back and watches the chaos unfold, knowing he has orchestrated every piece of the puzzle. By positioning Diane as the new CDO of Glade, he has effectively pitted the Abbotts against one another, ensuring their mutual destruction while keeping his own hands clean. For Victor, this is business as usual, using the weaknesses of his enemies to his advantage, all while maintaining his grip on Genoa City's corporate world. As The Young and the Restless unfolds next week, viewers will find Lucy and Phylis in a gripping struggle, facing an increasingly desperate situation. Their shared love for Daniel, who stands on the brink of losing his freedom, drives them to the edge of panic. With the clock ticking down, the urgency mounts. They must find proof of his innocence before it's too late. The threat of Daniel's wrongful imprisonment looms large, intensifying their resolve to uncover the truth behind a crime he didn't commit. The tension escalates as Chance, once an ally, has grown distant and skeptical, believing he has all the facts necessary to condemn Daniel. He dismisses Phylis and Lucy's frantic pleas, convinced their son is guilty. His relentless investigation leads him deeper into a web of danger, further jeopardizing Daniel's fate. The recent discovery of Heather, Daniel's ex-wife, dead in his home, blood splattered across the living room floor, complicates matters further. The gruesome scene suggests a violent struggle, yet something feels amiss to Lucy and Phylis. The crime scene indicates careful tampering. Heather's body was moved with precision, suggesting that the killer was not only familiar with the house, but also had a clear understanding of how to erase their tracks. This shocking revelation sends chills down their spines. They come to a harrowing realization: the perpetrator must be someone close to Daniel, someone intimately acquainted with his life. Their search for answers intensifies as they grapple with the knowledge that the attack was personal, not random. Meanwhile, Victor Newman finds himself in the throes of a different crisis. At over 80 years old, the once mighty titan of Newman Enterprises faces the burden of leadership amid internal family strife. With his health in decline, Victor contemplates the future of the company he built. For years, he has struggled with the conflicting visions of his children, Victoria, Nick, and Adam, each vying for control. However, he feels a stronger bond with Adam, whose ruthless ambition mirrors his own. In a secretive meeting, Victor makes a pivotal decision. Adam will take over as CEO of Newman Enterprises. This choice does not come lightly, as Victor knows it will ignite fierce opposition from his wife Nikki and the rest of the family, who distrust Adam due to his troubled history and questionable motives. They see him as an outsider, one whose existence stems from Victor's affair with Hope, tainting his claim to the Newman legacy. As Victor navigates this treacherous territory, Lucy and Phylis are left racing against the clock to secure evidence that could exonerate Daniel. The pressure mounts as they realize that the investigation is closing in on them, with Chance convinced of Daniel's guilt. Frustrated by Chance's refusal to consider other possibilities, Phylis becomes increasingly desperate. She knows the stakes are high, and she is determined to clear her son's name before it's too late. The ominous presence of Victor hangs over them, with Phylis suspecting his involvement in the chaos surrounding Heather's death. Victor, a master manipulator, has long been adept at orchestrating events from behind the scenes. As Phylis contemplates the possibility of approaching Victor for help, she is met with the grim reality of his current focus on handing over the reins to Adam. In Genoa City, the threads of deceit are beginning to intertwine. Phylis and Lucy are on the cusp of uncovering a shocking truth that could shake the very foundation of their lives. They know that their only chance of saving Daniel lies in revealing the identity of Heather's true killer. As the family dynamics within the Newman clan begin to fracture over Victor's choice, Jack Abbott grapples with the devastating implications of his own family crisis. Stricken by the revelation that Kyle, the son he has cherished, may not be who he thought he was, Jack faces the impossible task of revealing the truth. The potential fallout from Diane's deceit looms large, leaving Jack torn between protecting Kyle and facing the reality of his lineage. With all these tensions brewing, the stage is set for dramatic confrontations, shocking revelations, and heart-wrenching decisions. The stakes have never been higher for Lucy, Phylis, Daniel, the Newman family, and Jack. As they navigate this labyrinth of lies and betrayal, one thing is certain: nothing in Genoa City will ever be the same again. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal there are 3 must-see moments for the week of October 21, 2024. Expect Daniel Rumalotti, Jr. to confront Sharon Newman. Jack Abbott gives Diane Jenkins Abbott the boot. Plus, Victor Newman plans to recruit Diane to target Jack. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Chance Chancellor's investigation. Y&R spoilers for the week of October 21 reveal that one must-see moment features the investigation into Heather Stevens' death. Right now, Sharon has planted evidence to implicate Daniel in the murder. Sharon also deceives Chance by inventing a story in which Heather admits her marital struggles to her. In a preview clip for the upcoming week, the forensics team tells Chance they found something while combing through the penthouse. Y&R spoilers, Sharon Newman cornered. During the week of October 21, fans can expect Sharon to get cornered. Sharon is making up one lie after another to cover her tracks. There is a part of Sharon who feels incredibly guilty and horrified by her actions. However, Sharon keeps digging a deeper hole, and all of her lies will be exposed very soon. One scene in this storyline to look forward to this week is Daniel's confrontation. Apparently, Daniel will pressure Sharon to tell the truth. That could be incredibly dangerous, though, especially if hallucination Cameron Kristen takes control again. The Young and the Restless, Diane Jenkins Abbott booted. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of October 21 reveal that another must-see moment centers on the Abbott family feud. Kyle Abbott's betrayal has infected Jack and Diane's relationship. Jack and Diane do not agree on what to do about Kyle or what to say about the corporate theft. Diane is done with Kyle as her son and said so publicly. While this was probably just Diane's emotions spiraling out of control, it will have lasting consequences. Jack tells Diane to move out of the Abbott manse. During the public spat, Kyle did look like he felt empathy for his parents. Just for a few minutes. However, Kyle probably doesn't feel guilty enough to abandon his retaliation plan. At least, not yet. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Week of October 21, 2024. In the upcoming week, fans can also expect to see Victor come up with another devious idea. Victor will intend to use Diane to target Jack. With Jack kicking Diane out of the house, will Victor gain an enemy alliance? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of October 21, 2024? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount to find out what happens next. Young and the Restless spoilers hint at some massive returns during the week of October 21 to 25. So who will fans see make an explosive comeback? Time to dive into all the casting changes Y and R viewers can expect next week. The Young and the Restless spoilers, a super couple comeback. Everyone's favorite rock and roll super couple is set to return to the canvas during the week of October 21 to 25, but it looks like they won't be doing so together. Danny Romalotti will check in on his son, Daniel Romalotti, via a video conference call on the Wednesday, October 23 show. Daniel will tell his dad just how bad things have gotten in his life, and how the evidence is stacked against him when it comes to Heather Stevens' murder case. Then, on Thursday, October 24, Danny's better half, Christine Blair, will come back to Genoa City alone to support Daniel. As Danny still has world tour concerts he's committed to and likely can't get away from that, he'll send his gal pal in his place. Still, as Cricket is a lawyer, will she also become Daniel's official attorney? Y and R spoilers. Cameron Kirsten isn't done with Sharon Newman yet. As Cameron Kirsten is a hallucination, it's hard to know if he'll disappear one day or if he's here to stay. Fans didn't see him during the week of October 14 to 18. However, it looks like they did the week of October 21 to 25. Y and R spoilers indicate that Cameron will show up on the Wednesday, October 23 show, so fans can expect some interactions between him and Sharon Newman. In addition, viewers will see more of Lucy Romalotti as actress Lily Brooks gets more time on the canvas. She has been a prominent figure on the show as of late, all thanks to this over-the-top storyline involving her, Sharon, Daniel, Heather, and Faith Newman. Who are you most excited to see during the week of October 21 to 25? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tune into the Y and R on CBS regularly to catch all the drama, and visit SOS Daily for the hottest Young and the Restless spoilers, updates, and news. Queuing up Amazon Prime recently to watch an episode of The Young and the Restless, it hit me like the proverbial ton of bricks. When I went to the soap's homepage, there were Victor, Nikki, and Jack, inarguably the show's three most recognizable characters. But the daytime drama is called The Young and the Restless, and while the dynamic trio may be restless, well, let's just say that it's been a minute since they were able to chalk up their misadventures to inexperience and youthful folly. And that's when it occurred to me that Young and Restless doesn't actually have any characters under 30 years old. None that are on contract. Anyway, now I'm not at all one of those people who thinks that to bring in a young audience, you need young characters. I've laughed right along with you at the execs who have clung to that notion, even as it's been proven wrong over and over again. But some diversification of the canvas wouldn't kill the show. In fact, it would help. How? So glad you asked. For starters, the addition of some teens or 20-somethings would force Young and Restless to hatch the occasional plot that doesn't revolve around business. It might even corner the romance-averse show into playing a love story. Remember when Young and Restless told those? Back in the day, Nick and Sharon made us swoon. Lily and Daniel made our hearts skip a beat. We had our breath waiting for JT and Colleen's first kiss. Those were good times. The downside of bringing in the next generation, of course, is that it means that some of the last generation will have to go to make room for them. And I know that nobody likes change. Suggest writing off a character, any character, and suddenly, that character becomes your all-time favorite. But I love Society Customer No. 7. It's gotta happen, folks. Otherwise, we are stuck with a canvas full of untouchable couples and characters condemned to move from one corporation to the next and from one CEO position to the next while our eyes glaze over. And you know as well as I do that this is what the late, great Bill Bell would have done. You'll recall that he wasn't afraid to exact major change. If he had been, the Brooks and Foster families would still be front and center, not the Newmans and Abbotts. Do you remember Seymour Moore's portrayal of Malcolm Winters on The Young and the Restless? The actor who left Genoa City in 2005 took a nostalgic dive back to where it all began. He reminisced about his early days on CBS soap and the incredible person who lit up his path to stardom. Read further to get the full scoop. Seymour remembers words of wisdom. The Young and the Restless alum made an appearance on The Talk, where he looked back at his soap life. Seymour began, April 6, 1994, I got hired as Malcolm Winters on the CBS soap. Moreover, he revealed how thrilled he was just imagining himself on TV. However, the initial joy fizzled out, and reality hit hard and fast. I got freaked out, like, oh my god, I'm not gonna be good enough more thought. As funny as it sounds, he thought he would be made to pack his bag and bolt out in no time. The imposter syndrome was too real in Seymour's case. That's when the legendary Christoph Street John, who played his on-screen brother Neil Winters, swooped in like a superhero. Additionally, the actor gave Seymour a pep talk that stayed with him forever. He was scared out of his mind, but Christoph saw that and embraced him right away while uttering magical words. You're scared, you're nervous, you're green, but you've got heart and you've got raw talent, John said to Moore. Subsequently, his words struck a chord, giving Seymour the confidence to own his role and thrive in the soap realm. But who knew those humble beginnings on My and R were just the start? The Y and R star didn't just survive, but soared like a kite. Moore even earned a daytime Emmy and then got primetime success with Criminal Minds. Currently, he's leading the charge in SWAT, which is heading into its final season. Quite a glow-up, right? Sadly, Christoph Street John passed away in 2019 at the age of 52. But he left behind an unforgettable legacy. He was a child actor who had appeared on shows like Happy Days and The Cosby Show. Furthermore, Christoph left a lasting impression with his role in Generations, before becoming a Y and R fan favorite in 1991. Even though Christoph is no longer around, his wisdom bombs continue to fuel Seymour's journey to greatness. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Claire Newman could be resorting to drastic action. Although Claire thought she put her scheming ways behind her, she may have picked them back up again for a good cause. It felt significant when Jack Abbott opened up to Claire about how dirty Victor Newman played and how deep their rivalry ran. Claire got a better sense of how Victor operated, though she should really know that already considering all the research Jordan made her do. Since Claire was an expert on all things Newman before she ever came to Genoa City, she should know better than anyone what Victor is capable of. Nevertheless, Victor has only shown Claire his softer side since he took on the role of Grandpa. It's good that Jack opened Claire's eyes to Victor's manipulation of Kyle Abbott and how detrimental that could be. Claire repeatedly assured Jack that she wanted to help, so Y&R seemed to be setting up a story with that. Since Jack basically urged Claire to understand that scheming is the only way to beat Victor, Claire may be plotting with Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott right now. Claire drew attention to Diane and Jack's hostility when she was sitting with Cole Howard and Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinel, at the coffee house. Duping Victoria and Cole may be part of the plan when it comes to selling Jack and Diane's fake divorce. When Jack and Diane had that awful public argument at the GCAC, Claire was there along with Victoria, Cole, Victor, and Kyle. Victor was delighted, but Kyle looked like he was starting to have regrets about Diane and Jack's marriage turmoil. If Claire is indeed teaming up with Jack and Diane on their sneaky plan, it could backfire big time. Claire is showing Newman disloyalty, so Victor may have a huge problem with that down the road. Even Victoria and Cole may disapprove of Claire getting back to her scheming ways, no matter how good her intentions might be. Claire has been seeing a terrible side of Kyle since he started working at Glissade, so she may think it'll be better for everyone if he walks away and patches things up with his parents. Unfortunately, Kyle will feel livid and betrayed if he discovers Claire was part of some elaborate scheme to trick him along with Victor. Our predictions hint that Claire's efforts to help could do more damage in the end, especially to her bond with Kyle. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Claire could be making a massive mistake if all this blows up in her face, so stick with us for updates on any bad news that might hit hard. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate Victor Newman has been making some major deals lately. Not only did he purchase Glissade right from under Tucker McCall's nose, but he is also working to score Abbott Chancellor. Mighty big moves for even the biggest business player in Genoa City. But is he doing this because he has a retirement goal in mind? The Young and the Restless spoilers. Victor Newman is setting up Newman Enterprises to be unstoppable. My and our spoilers remind fans that Victor once tried the retirement thing, but it didn't work. Still, the way he's been setting things up at Newman, it looks like he might have goals of leaving the business behind for his kids, and possibly grandkids, to run. One of the motives behind his recent company purchases has been to bring the Abbotts down. Victor is laser-focused on destroying both Jack Abbott and Billy Abbott, so if he accomplishes this, will he be ready to step away from things? I and our spoilers. Victor Newman fills Adam Newman in on his retirement plans. Right now, Victor is a tad frustrated with Adam Newman. He appointed his son to run Newman Media, hoping he'd help him bring the Abbotts down. Of course, Adam was fully on board when it came to slinging mud at Billy. However, he's always drawn the line with Jack because of their friendship. This annoyed the mustache, to say the least. If Victor's end goal is to retire after all of this, would he let Adam in on his plans? He might even entice the black sheep of the family by requesting that he throw Jack under the bus. Victor might promise Adam the top Newman CEO spot, a comfy position his son has always wanted. Victor will present it as a win-win situation. He finally accomplishes his ultimate business goal by driving Jabot out of business and ruining Billy's career, and Adam gets a bucket list career goal by being the head honcho at Newman Enterprises. But Adam also knows how sly and sneaky his father is, so would he agree to this? He may doubt Victor's retirement plans unless the mustache put it all in writing. Would Adam throw Jack under the bus to become Newman's CEO? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. In the latest Young and Restless preview for the week of October 21 to 25, Daniel looks to be in serious trouble. Read on for the details and watch the video below. Kyle continued to cause more problems for his parents when they suspected he stole a formula from Jabot for Glissade. Then, the ousted Audra revealed that Victor Newman not only poached their son to work for him, but was also the secret investor behind Glissade's takeover. A confrontation between Diane and Victor left the mustache beaming that her marriage was beginning to fall apart, as was her family, and she was about to lose everything. Coming up, Victor may be right, as Diane tells Tracy that Jack asked her to move out. Previously, Sharon planted bloody evidence of Heather's murder in Daniel's apartment, and then tipped Chance off about the stress between Daniel and Heather over her desire to move. Upon searching his place, Chance located Heather's missing phone, but that wasn't all. He then located the bloody towels Sharon stashed in the liquor cabinet. Coming up, in Daniel's apartment, a cop tells Chance, "We've got something." It looks like Sharon's devious plot is working. On video, Danny asks, "What exactly is this evidence the police have against you?" Daniel replies, "Let's just say it's solid enough that I'm expecting a knock on my door at any moment." Daniel does have one hope, as Phylis has begun to suspect Sharon is the real murderer and has framed her son. Speaking of Phylis, vicariously attend Michelle Stafford's anniversary party on the set with photos from the star-studded bash.